Hello everyone, my name is Sarah, and today we are joined by my stuffed animals, very slightly off screen. We have more. Timochi. We have Squiggly Poof. Don't remember their name. I made it up when I was like 7. And Desmond. Then we also have Frey up there, and Beardo, and hopefully Maple will be joining them soon. And I finally found my goddamn notes. Okay, so the first time I filmed this, I was depressed. I found out my dad was dying. He's not dead yet. Unless nobody told me about it, which would be pretty thematic for my life. Anyway, not the point. The point is video games. And the second time I tried to film this, I couldn't find this goddamn notebook anywhere. So, Project Play, let's go. Let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about. Or actually, we don't have that much to talk about. We have a normal amount of stuff to talk about. For my introduction, I put in 5 games. I put in Animal Crossing, which started at 355 hours. It'll all be up covering Beardo and Freya, I'm sure. I put in Dicey Dungeons, which was at 5 hours, Monster Prom at 10 hours, No Time to Relax at 5 hours, and Rain City at 3 hours. My goals were to get Animal Crossing from 355 hours to 400 hours. In other words, to add 45 hours of game time. Did I do that? No. No, I did not. I almost did it. I added 35 hours, so I got my game time up to 390 hours, and I kept it in my project. Then the next game I had was Dicey Dungeons. It was in for it started at 5 hours. I wanted to get it to 10 hours, and I did do that. I thought about keeping it in the project, but I decided I just wanted to rotate it out and have it rotate back in at some point. So I did that. The next game I had on my list was Monster Prom, which started at 10 hours. I wanted to get it to 15. I did not. It is still at 10 hours. So I was originally going to keep Monster Prom in until I hit my goal of 15 hours. But after, obviously, things happened, I decided to rotate it out. But I'm not going to keep things in just because I haven't hit my goals with them. The next game that I had on my list is No Time to Relax. So No Time to Relax, I knew I wasn't going to play for 5 hours or however many more hours I needed. And so what I decided to do was a usage goal. No Time to Relax is a multiplayer game, so I needed to convince other people to play it with me, in this case my boyfriend, and he's not particularly the fondest of this game. I decided to set the usage for 3 times in a month. I hit my goal of 3 uses, and I was correct. I did not go up in hours. So there's that. And so that is also not in the project anymore. And then we have Rain City. Rain City is a game that is story driven, and so there is a clear ending. So my goal was just to finish the game. It was at 3 hours. I finished the game, and that took me to 5 hours, which is a nice round number, so I love to see it. The weird thing about Rain City was when I filmed the intro to my project, it was about 2 weeks into the month, so I had already been using these games for 2 weeks, and I had already finished Rain City, and I was trying desperately not to give that away. I don't know if it worked, but here's my pen. I've been clicking on it. Yeah, when I filmed the first video, I had already finished the game. It's not that good. Sorry, Rain City. Your demo was better than the rest of your game. I'm sorry. I got it for free though, so I'm not gonna judge it too much. So obviously I rolled that out of my project because I'm done with it now, which I'm really happy about because a lot of these games I'm still gonna be rolling into my project. But Rain City is done, so I've moved it from the unfinished category, which was my biggest, into my finished games category, which is I think my smallest. So, very excited about that. Let me itch my nose. Boop. So, in February, these are the games that I have been playing because it is 2-3. It's almost time to pay rent for next month. So here we are. So for February, the games that I've been playing are, I kept Animal Crossing in. My goal was just, because I'm a little bit worn out on Animal Crossing, to play it for 10 hours to get it to 400 hours because I really want that nice round number. I was going to play Monster Prom, like I said, but I decided to take that out of the project because I wasn't up to playing it. And I replaced it with Little Big Workshop. And Little Big Workshop is a management game. You play as someone running a factory. Mine is quite big now. And when I say a factory, I mean like a manufacturing factory. So you hire workers and haulers, and you build areas. You buy machinery like painting stations, woodworking stations, metalworking stations, and then specific machinery like lathes, that kind of stuff. And you buy them for your employees, who are little gnomes. It's very cute. The whole aesthetic is very like somebody building a little replica. It's very cute. And you just run this factory. You take on jobs. Some of them have set amount of hours that they need to be done in. You have like stats for a market, which shifts every day, I think, or every couple of days. It's a really interesting game. It has a lot of really good mechanics, and it's very fleshed out for the type of game it is. It's one of those games that's very like niche, but does that niche very well, and like it's just a really good game. The only complaint I have is that my Switch struggles to run it when my shop gets a little big. I think it's worth it still. So there's that. I had played it previously for 15 hours, and my goal was to play it for 30, so I wanted to add 15 hours to the game. The next game I decided to add was a game I could play with Chris. Not that we've played it so far, but one of the few games Chris actually enjoys playing with me is this game called Ding Dong XL. Chris, stop laughing. Stop it. Every time. It's just a little phone game. I've talked about it in my ranking on my videos because it's in my top 10. Surprise, phone game in my top 10. It's a really good phone game. I really like it. You basically have like a little ball. You make it go up and down. There's projectiles that go around. There's also different modes. There's an endless mode, which I'm very bad at. And there's a multiplayer mode, which is why it's here for my multiplayer. And so you and someone else can each use separate Joy-Cons and then affect two different balls. And so you're playing together, and, you know, Chris and I will play it and we'll yell at each other nicely. I had played it for 3 hours, and my goal was to get it up to the 5-hour benchmark. And so that would be adding 2 hours to the game. So I was going to play Stardew Valley, but after everything that happened, I decided I didn't want to play it. It just wasn't a game I was interested in playing right then and there. But I think I'm going to play it next month with my boyfriend, and we're going to sit down because I think the Switch has the update where you can play local multiplayer now. So I'm very excited for that. And then the last game... Oh, I was also going to add Darkest Dungeons. I also decided that a game about dying... Is that fair? Is that fair to say that Darkest Dungeons is a game about dying? No. But is there a lot of death? Yes. And I decided that a game where there's death constantly and the threat of death is looming at all times, and that's one of the main features of the game, would not be a game I wanted to play right now, which I think is pretty fair. And in its place, I decided to put Bug Fables. Now, Bug Fables is like a Paper Mario style game, but you play as bugs. You play as 3 bugs in a team. They each have their own abilities. There's Vi the bee, who uses a boomerang. There is Kabu the beetle, who uses, he's like your typical shield / heavy hitter. And then there is Leaf, who uses ice magic, and it's just good. It's just a good game. The combat's really good. It's fleshed out enough that it's interesting. It's simple enough that it's a good game. I played it a lot right when I found out my dad was dying, because it was simple enough and cheery and a little bit happy and cute that it just felt nice to escape into that kind of a world. The characters are all really cute. I decided, the reason I have never finished it is I wanted to actually 100% it, but I decided to restart the game and then do all of the side questing while I was still in the main campaign. I might get to the end and still do like side questing things, but I just wanted to restart the game. I just felt like I needed that right now. Bug Fables was originally it started at 40 hours. My goal was to put it to 50 hours, so to add 10 hours to the game, and there you go. There's my update. This video is 24 minutes and 40 seconds now. But I'm sure it won't be that long when I edit out all of the stupid shit I've said, including this. Anyway, that is my update for my February update. I'm sure literally next week I will film another video for this. I will switch out the games. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will see you probably next week with the next update of this project. Unless my dad actually does happen to die in this week, I will be sticking to that. Sorry that I talked about my dad dying so much. Am I sorry about that? No. Maybe. Maybe I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm bad at outros. Look at Squiggly Poof. Squiggly Poof says, "Have a nice day." Sorry.